Microsoft shares exceeded a market capitalization of $3 trillion this week to become the biggest company on Wall Street. We discuss what has driven the stock to these highs, preview the results coming up in the week ahead, and of course, take a look at what the charts might be telling us about the outlook for Microsoft shares. But before we dive into that, make sure you follow, like, and subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. We'll be sure to get back to you. We want to hear what your views are on the outlook for Microsoft shares. Microsoft exceeded a market valuation of $3 trillion this week. And really, it's off the back of artificial intelligence, the belief that Microsoft is the leader in the space and is set to benefit most from the AI boom. Now, this comes 12 months or so after the company acquired OpenAI, which really has been the game changer when it comes to the generative AI space. We're now about a week away from Microsoft's earnings for its second quarter of its fiscal year, and there is the expectation there will be continued strong growth in the company's earnings, with roughly 20% growth in the bottom line forecast or for earnings per share for the quarter on revenues that should exceed $61 billion. Now, as always, the focus for analysts is going to be on the cloud product and specifically the Azure product. Those areas of the business are poised to benefit most from the artificial intelligence boom and have also been the major growth driver for the business in recent years as well. And it's expected that we will get around 17% revenue growth from the cloud computing business of Microsoft, and its revenues for that business segment should rise to around $25 billion for the quarter, which now makes up about 40% of the business's total revenue and is its biggest growth driver. So there is a lot of expectation baked in for Microsoft around these results. There is almost unanimous bullishness in the market for the stock. The analyst community, at least based on numbers derived from Bloomberg surveys, suggest of 65 brokers, 60 recommend a buy or a strong buy rating with a price target somewhere around $429 per share. So this is now all about the business executing on its strategy. One, starting to monetize the artificial intelligence boom, and then also optimizing its Azure and cloud services business after 2 years of cost cuts to try and boost those margins. There is the expectations that gross margins will increase this quarter as well. So it should be a fascinating set of numbers, especially as the stock, as we'll see in a second, exceeds $400 per share and pushes to fresh all-time highs. We discussed the almost ubiquitous bullishness amongst the analyst community. Well, that's also conveyed in the technicals at the moment, with Microsoft shares clearly in an uptrend, primary trends marked by higher highs and lower lows, and a recent push to fresh record highs, with really clear air now here as the stock exceeds $400 per share. Now, looking at some of the key levels on the downside, we do have a level that was broken at around $380 per share for the market to push and break out to where it is now. But more importantly, we can see that there's a bit of a confluence of levels that could mark potential support and maybe could invite dip buys in any sell-off in the future. We've got that major support zone between $350 to $360 per share. Dips have been bought on pushes below the 20-week moving average. And there is also an upward sloping trend line, which also could offer some level of support if the market gets down to that particular level. But overall, clearly, structurally, very bullish at the moment going into these results, albeit perhaps a little overbought on the daily RSI, weekly RSI. However, previous pushes above that level, that 80 level on the weekly RSI, has tended to mark periods of consolidation rather than trend reversals or absolute turnarounds. So those are the factors that have pushed Microsoft shares to record highs, to a valuation above $3 trillion, and to make it Wall Street's biggest company at the moment. Its results will be absolutely crucial to get a gauge for the company's fundamental strength going forward and its ability to capitalize on the AI trends. Ultimately, from a price action point of view, things remain very, very constructive for Microsoft shares.